Hey everybody, what is up? Fourth Seraph here, and today I have an exciting video for you. Today we're going to look through the entire Call of Duty 4 Remastered campaign and find every single piece of intel. A lot of you have probably already played this and found some, so there are timestamps down below for every piece of intel. If you've maybe played through half the campaign and found it and just need the second half, or you're having trouble on just a specific mission, it'll all be down there broken down for you. So go ahead and look down there if you're just having trouble with one or two pieces. But anyways, let's get into it. Guys, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video and a comment, and share it with your friends if they play Modern Warfare Remastered at all too. That would really help out. This video did take a ton of time, so I'd appreciate a little bit of love on it. Be awesome if this video could reach 50 likes. But anyways, let's get right into the tutorial. So the first one here is going to be on the very first mission, Crew Expendable, and right as you go down the stairs at the very beginning of the mission, there's going to be a drunk guy that stumbles out. You're going to kill him, and if you're anything like me, you also went into the room and killed the other two people that are sleeping, because frick those guys, that's what you get for sleeping on a boat. If you just turn around inside that room, you will see the laptop sitting in there right off the bat. Already 1 out of 30. Let's get on to the next one. So the next one is kind of obvious, but if you're playing on a harder difficulty, it might be a little less obvious because you'll actually be focused on staying alive. But for the footage you actually see is when I went back and played it on Recruit, so it was really easy. Right as you go into kind of the first cargo hold, you just walk down the stairs and it'll be right there in plain sight. There's only like 3 guys on Recruit, so definitely if you're having trouble finding it, switch to Recruit and it'll be really easy because you won't have to worry about dying or anything at all. And that is it for the first mission. Let's go on to the next mission, Blackout. So here at the very beginning of Blackout, there's going to be a guy who kind of walks out. You're going to kill him, and then you will go inside of this house. There will be a couple guys in there. Go ahead and kill those guys too, and then you will see the laptop sitting there. This one is also fairly easy to find. Nothing too confusing about it at all. Then skip over to the very end of Blackout, and when you're going to pick up Nikolai in the house, go up onto the second floor. This will be a theme pretty much throughout the whole thing. If there is a building and it has a second floor, good chance there's some intel in it, because that's where most of them are at. It can be a little hard to see if you have night vision on, because it'll just see a super bright light. So if you see anything that just looks super bright, switch off and you'll see the screen of the laptop. But just know that it can be easy to walk by because it just seems like a light if you still have your night vision on. Alright, next we're over at Charlie Don't Surf. So in the building that you first go to look for Al-Assad, you'll go downstairs where there's all these different weapons and things you can pick up. Just go ahead and look over in one of the rooms there and you'll see the laptop sitting there. This one isn't super hard to find. It is just down in that basement area. But do be careful because there are a few guys that'll pop out of the different rooms and stuff. So if you're playing on a harder difficulty, make sure you kind of check them all first and kill everyone before you run around and look for it. So these next two are actually like back to back. And I did get these ones in my very first playthrough of the mission before I was recording. When I was just streaming, I kind of stumbled upon them by accident, but they are up in these rooms and they are pretty easy to find. When you get to the part where it's actually based on the multiplayer map, when you get to that part where there's kind of the road in the middle, there's a building that you reach first that you'll see me go up into, and it's on the second floor there. Then you'll cross that street. That would be like the middle of the multiplayer map. You should all recognize that area if you've played COD 4 online before. And you'll go forward, and then there will be a staircase that you can kind of head back up where there were a bunch of guys. It's a very broken down building, and there's a TV and a laptop up there. So grab that laptop, and you will have 2 for the price of 1 intels. Alright, next at the beginning of the Bog mission, you'll go up to the second floor of the apartment building, and there will be a bunch of rooms up here. And there's one that has a door that you can't open. You have to wait for the NPCs to come and actually open this one up for you. But once you do, you can go in there. Once again, if you have your night vision on, which a lot of people do at this stage in the mission, the laptop will just look like a really, really bright light when you have that. So make sure to take your night vision off once you're inside of that room, and it'll make it much easier to find. The second one for the Bog mission can be a little bit difficult. If you look up guides online, they'll tell you something about just find a fridge. You will actually come across a fridge at first that's lying on its side on the ground. That is not the one you're looking for. You'll come to one that's standing straight up, normal, and you'll just turn around from there, and there will be like one stack of boxes that you'll see. It'll just kind of walk right around there, and it'll be lying in the corner. But make sure that you don't just go to the very first fridge you see, the one lying on its side. The one standing up is the one that you need. Next, here on the Hunted, once you go into that house that you use to kind of escape from the helicopter, you'll kind of go out the back and there will be another building. Now, if you look up other guides, in Call of Duty 4, there was a soda machine out there, but in the remastered version, it's just a like garbage can fire that is way too close to the building, and that is a safety violation for sure. But go inside that door and the laptop will be right there. It's that first building you'll see right as you come out of the door of that house, and it should be pretty easy for you to find. The next one up on the Hunted, you will come out of those greenhouse areas, and over to your left, before you get to the barn, there will be like a broken down house, and then some sandbags with a little sheet metal roof over it, and it'll just be sitting on a table in there. I would recommend taking out all of the guys and doing that first before, so you don't have to worry about getting shot, because there's not a lot of cover in there. So go ahead and take out the guys at the barn, and then just turn 180 degrees when you're facing the door of the barn, and it'll be right behind you there. So the next two here are right next to each other again. This is on the mission War Pig. Right as you kind of start following the tank and it breaks through kind of that archway gate, there will be what is the multiplayer map there that you guys probably all recognize, or most of you, and on both sides of the tank there's going to be buildings that you can go up inside of. I believe on the second floor of both of them are laptops, so I went up in the right one first. Be careful because there are a ton of guys hiding all around in these buildings. So once again, this is one that if you're really just going to look for the laptops, I would recommend recruit or regular difficulty just to make it a little bit easier, because you do have to go kind of through both of these buildings, and most of the time no one on the NPCs are going to follow you, and so you're going to have to kill a lot of guys all by yourself. So be careful when you're doing it, because they do pop out of closets and different doorways and things, so don't die when you're doing this, but go ahead and search both those buildings and you will find both of the laptops. The final one here on War Pig is pretty easy. You'll kind of go down this alleyway with a bunch of cars on both sides, and you'll have to go into this apartment building where there's like machine guns and stuff shooting at you. Once you kill those, you'll go up, and I believe that you do have to actually go to the second floor to continue the mission, and there's just a laptop sitting right up there, so this one's fairly easy to find. Next, in Shock and Awe, once again in the same place that is the multiplayer map for this mission, you'll go up to the second floor where the guys that you were going to rescue are, and back in like the back left corner kind of, or right if you're facing out of the building, is the laptop. This one's pretty easy to find. It's just sitting up in the open there, so just kind of look around if you're having trouble finding it. This next one too is pretty close, so you'll see the other building that people always climb up onto the roof of in multiplayer maps and try and snipe and stuff. Just go inside that building. It's really easy if you pick up the shotgun in the building that you just left, and just go in there and just start shooting. There's a bunch of guys up on the second floor there, and there will be a laptop there down in the closet. If you're having trouble picking it up, it glitched out a little bit for me, go ahead and crouch, and then you'll be able to get it much easier, because it is kind of blocked by stuff, so sometimes the game just has trouble recognizing that you're close enough to pick it up. Next on the mission Safehouse, you're going to go into that first building, kind of the one right as you go up that path. It's usually the one that people go into first. And once again, intel on the second floor, because that is apparently how terrorists hide things that they don't want you to find. So just go up to the second floor and search around, and be careful because there are a lot of guys up there. Then head from there straight back. You'll see a burning building. Right behind the burning building is going to be kind of a restaurant, like hostel looking building. And you'll go through, and this one is actually on the first floor there. You'll go in, you'll see that on screen, the building that I'm talking about, and then it'll cut. There's kind of a place where there's like restaurant booths on the first floor there in kind of the back corner. Be careful because there are a ton of guys in this building, but go ahead and go back there and you will find the intel. Next, in all Ghillied Up, This one's pretty easy to get, but you do have to do it right away. So kill the guy in the watchtower, kill the other guard, and then head straight up into the watchtower before the helicopter comes and grab the intel, and then head back down. The church is actually a great place to hide when the helicopter passes by, because it's a lot easier to hide than when you're out in the field. So if you're having trouble with that, then just stick in the church. But make sure you get it then, because sometimes the watchtower does explode and then you are out of luck. The next one on all Ghillied Up is when Captain McMillan is holding the sniper and he says for you to go behind him, as if they won't see you that way. But go ahead and just shoot those 3 guys kind of in that enclosed area. Now on this, you might alert all the rest of the people and you might die afterwards, but that doesn't matter. Just kill them, run in there, grab the intel, and then just go out and die, and it'll bring you back to the last checkpoint, but you'll still have the intel, so it won't matter. So don't worry about that. Just shoot them, run in there, and grab it, and you will be good. Final one for all Ghillied Up is after you've done all the sneaking, and then there's the guy up on the fire escape. Go ahead and shoot him, and then run up there. It does kind of deter you from going up because it looks kind of like broken down, and so if you're used to playing single player games, it kind of looks like, oh, there's going to be an invisible wall here, or it doesn't want me to go up this way. You can just kind of jump over that little gap and then head all the way up, and there will be a room at the top with the laptop in it. Next, on to one shot, one kill, and I'm going to recommend you do this one on recruit, because that way if you have any difficulty finding anything, it doesn't matter because you just have an exuberant amount of time to look for stuff. So definitely play this mission on like hardened or veteran on a harder difficulty, because it is a fun mission. But if you're just going through to look for the intel, play it on a really easy difficulty so you don't have to worry about time at all, which is what I did, because I did have a little trouble finding it. Because I actually did play this part without sound, and some of the cues are audio cues, so it can be a little different. But you will hear Captain McMillan, once you're carrying him, he'll say, let's try to lose them in there. You'll kind of come to the end of the building where it's all burned down, and you'll go out and you can climb up a ladder to another fire escape, and it will be there right at the top of that fire escape. Then at the very end of one shot, one kill, go set down Captain McMillan. Once again, this part is much easier to do if it's on recruit, because you do kind of have to run out and you don't want Captain McMillan to die, and he pretty much can't if you're on recruit. But on a harder difficulty, he might die before you can actually get to the laptop. On the back right side of the map, there's a double door that's closed into like an apartment building. Once enemies start spawning, you kind of have to run away from there so that enemies will spawn in there and they'll actually open the door. Then just run back and kill them, and then you can run back in there, and the laptop is just at the end of the hallway there. It's pretty easy to find, but you do have to get the enemies to spawn. You do have to wait for the fight, so once again, much easier on a lower difficulty. This next one, you do have to be kind of quick, so once again, a lower difficulty does make it quite a bit easier. But once you're in your very first firefight, you just go to the building opposite of where you'll be at. You'll shoot the guard in the tower, and then there will be other guys in the building. Just go, run over there, kill them all as quickly as you can, and you'll see the laptop. I believe it's over to your left in one of the booths. It's pretty easy to get, but you don't have a ton of time, so be as quick as possible. The next one in Sins of the Father is pretty easy. Just look for the green car, the red dumpster. Go ahead and turn a right once you see that, and then you'll kind of see a like rusty metal staircase, once again up to the second floor. So that's our cue to know intel's up there. Go ahead and just take the stair up, go inside there. There might be a guy or two, and there's also some weapons in there along with the intel laptop. Now, in Ultimatum, you'll get into like a big firefight, and there will kind of be an L-shaped building. It's in the back side of that L-shaped building. I ran over into the right and had some trouble finding it, and a bunch of guys kept surrounding me. So feel free to kill all the guys first and like take care of that, and then run just into the back of it, and it will be right there. It's not super hard to find, and you'll see it here on screen. It's kind of just sitting there. But make sure that you do kill the guys, because otherwise, like, I turned around at one point and was getting shot by like 8 people. Next, in All In, you'll come to a part where there's like a 2-story building. There will be people on a like patio and then on the roof shooting at you. You can go right down an alley, and you'll kind of pass like a shipping container, and back behind that will be once again some weapons and another Intel laptop. This is after you've destroyed the first tank, so go to the right from there. Next, in All In, and this can be an easy one to forget. I actually forgot this and had to go back and do it because I was so focused on destroying these tanks. But you can do it before or after you destroy the tanks, whatever you want, but just go along the right side, and there's that hangar. So this is from the multiplayer map as well, that hangar that people like to go into. Go into that hangar, and just kind of sitting there towards the back will be that laptop. It's pretty easy to see, but just make sure you don't get killed by that tank or any of the guys if you're playing on a harder difficulty. Next, onto no fighting in the war room. Once you kind of get out of the vents and out of the bathroom, you will go down a hallway where there will be a lot of guys. There's going to be rooms on both sides. Get to one that looks like a meeting room. There will be kind of like a longer table in there with a bunch of chairs around it, and the laptop will just be right on that table. It's not any of the ones with like beds or anything in it. It looks more like a meeting room, so make sure to look for that one. If you hit the stairs where you start to go down, you went too far, so turn around and go back and look for it. And the final one, so once again, this one's a lot easier to get if you're on a lower difficulty, so you have plenty of time, but you'll kind of come into the final room where you need to disable the nukes, and before you do that, look straight ahead from where you broke through the wall, and there will be like two big windows in there with like a map of the world. You'll see it's like a long meeting conference room. Once again, you run up the stairs and run into there, and you will find the final laptop, and you should have all 30 now, and you can now do all the cheats. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any questions or need clarification on anything. Hopefully, this is a good guide for you guys so you can find all of the intel, use all of the cheats, and play through the entire campaign, Modern Warfare, multiple times. But anyways, guys, until next time, I will see you online.